Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here from Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube, and I'm going to give you a kind of a close-up, in-depth look at the Falken WildPeak AT3W. And if you're just watching this video and you saw the one that I did on the Wrangler Duratrack, you may be thinking, wow, that looks almost like the exact same tire. And it is very similar. The biggest difference, though, is that these Falkens are significantly cheaper than the Duratracks. So I guess we'll start off with just kind of design and how this tire is set up, but it's very similar to the Duratrack. We can see it's got a ton of siping in here for good winter driving, and I think if I look on the side, yes, it does have a mountain and a snowflake, so it's mountain and snowflake rated, but I don't really think those like ratings play much of an effect on how good a tire actually is. Getting out there and driving on it, this definitely is a decent tire in the snow, but don't always just go by off of what the little letters are on the side, because they don't necessarily mean that it's that good, even though they'll be rated for it. So like I said, a ton of siping on the side here on these really big tread blocks. These are pretty wide, lots of rubber here, and then in the center you'll notice they're significantly smaller, but they do have equal gaps on the outside tread blocks and the center ones too. So though this is technically an all-terrain tire, it really looks more similar to probably what I would consider a hybrid tire, where you have these big patches of rubber, but then it's more split up in the center so that you're not, wearing through these super fast. Depending on the size you get, they can come with up to a 55,000 mile warranty. A lot of them don't, however, but they are going to still carry that manufacturer's warranty. So if you had them wearing uneven or something like that, they would be covered, but they know that you're going to be off-roading if you got a set of tires like this, or at least you have the potential to, so they don't always give that warranty on every single size. And as far as sizes go, I guess we'll kind of break that down a little bit. They offer everything from like a 235/70 all the way up to a 325/60, so anything from a very, very small OEM, like old school Toyota size tire, up to a 37/12.5 is actually the biggest size that they offer in this particular tire. As far as sidewall goes on here, you can see that it is actually a pretty aggressive sidewall. They got these like shoulder blocks that kind of stick out a little bit, and kind of a different pattern, not something that's on every tire, but they look relatively aggressive, especially considering they call this an all-terrain tire. If you're comparing this tire to the Wrangler Duratrack, if you're out there shopping for tires, you'll see that in like a 305/55 R20, that's basically the most common size for both of those guys. The Falken WildPeak AT3W is going to come in right around that $1,200 price point, whereas the Wrangler Duratracks are almost $1,700. So you save about $500 by going with these guys. The only complaint that I've heard about these is that they do wear a bit faster, but depending on the price you pay for them, it might be worth it if you don't drive that much. Just something to consider if you're out there shopping for tires. The other thing to note too with tire pricing is in smaller sizes, like I think it's a 265/70, you can get these things for $600 on our website, which is like absolutely crazy deal. That's what's on the truck behind me. It's almost a 33 by about 9, if you're wondering how that converts out to, but we have the conversion on the website also if you want to check that out. But like I said, $600. And then you might go to another online retailer or your local store and you'll see them for a little bit less than that. And that's because a lot of those places, like the big giant blue store with the gold logo that I don't think I can actually say the name, they're going to be selling you like second-hand tires or blemished tires, tires that have some sort of problem with them, or they didn't quite make the spec. So you might have one that's not quite as tall, or doesn't have the right amount of rubber, or it's the wrong density and material. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping for them. We only sell the first run products. So if you're wondering what this tire is right here, this is a 35/12.5, so you can see how it compares to me because I'm 7 feet tall. Just kidding, I'm like 5'6", don't tell anybody. But these will run you right about $1,300 for a set of 35/12.5s. And then as far as performance goes, I've had a chance to drive on these in a couple different conditions. Most recently, I took the Tacoma out, drove it on the roads here after we got like, I don't know, 4.5, 5 inches of snow last night or the day before, and kind of got to see how they felt on the road, since that's how most people are driving them. But also had a chance to take these things up to the Nicolet National Forest and give them a go off-road, and I gotta say they hold up pretty well. I'm pretty impressed. Not quite as good as a Duratrack, but then again, you are saving a decent amount of money on these things, and they did hold up pretty well aired down too. Again, same kind of thing. You can't air them down quite as much as some of the other tires out there, but they did handle, going 10, 15 pounds lower than what you'd be running for on the street. So that's it for the Falken WildPeak AT3W. It's a lot of letters. If you want to check them out, head out to the website, customoffsets.com. We got a whole bunch of tires on there, and we can package them up with wheels and ship them right to you. Peace.